yeah, I could easily do that, and then they go and mess up their car or something like that.
Yeah, it kind of starts that way. I'm pretty comfortable. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Larney with SugarHillAutoSalon, and this is one of the first episodes we're going to do for Super Clean Cars. And I've got my good friend.
Hey guys, my name's Alex. I work next door to Larney, and yeah, he actually put a ceramic coating on my car and has kind of sold me on the idea. So yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, so just wanted to sit down with Alex because this is his car that he kind of purchased that was new to him, and he wanted a way to protect it. So it's kind of his first car that he's even getting ceramic coated, and I felt like that's a really good talking point to help people understand a little bit more about ceramic coatings and what they do. That's really, really good, and maybe bridge the gap on what kind of questions that arises whenever you're thinking about getting something like ceramic coating. So we were just talking about how you want to give expert advice, but at the same time, at a point where people can understand it really good, because I don't want to go over people's heads. And oftentimes when I find that I'm talking to myself about this stuff, I will go there, and then sometimes people will give me a look like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
So I have to kind of pull back, and
you use terminology or whatever.
Yeah.
That you're so used to.
Right.
To them, it's just confusing them or something like that.
Right. So I'm hoping that you can kind of help me stay grounded, what your experience was, and then what I was saying to you, or what I can allude to, as far as the terminology goes.
Right.
And that can help us kind of bridge that gap, right? So
I got it.
Tell us about your car. I think it's a really cool car. That's mainly because I'm a Honda boy.
Right, right. Yeah, I like it. It's a 2019 Honda Accord. My dad actually bought it originally, garage kept, all that, took really good care of it. And then I ended up buying it from him. And like you said, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool car.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. And, now with that ceramic coating you put on it, it looks really good. But it's funny, because I didn't know what that was at all.
Right.
When you had first suggested it to me. Cause when I hear ceramic, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that comes to mind, because ceramic can be anything. But yeah, I was just kind of all right, yeah, sure, we'll give it a shot. It's now become one of those things that to me is once you have it, it sells itself to you. Right. Because you see the benefits as time goes on. Right. And you're oh, okay. I think I told you a little while back that I had a bird crap on my car. Yeah. And I was oh no, my clean car, I just had the coating put on, without realizing that the coating was there doing its job, protecting it. Right. And so I got a wet rag, and it just came off easily. Yeah. And normally when a bird craps on your car, that's something that takes a little while to clean or deal with. And, right. It just came right off. Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of ceramic coatings. But I did want to mention that people probably hear Honda Accord, it's a pretty common car, but I was you have one of the last few 6-speed manuals. Oh, right. Yeah. Right. And it's dang, that's I hate the fact that Honda's getting rid of all of their manual cars. Right. And I get that they're bringing it back with the the 2025 or the Honda Civic Type R all comes in manual. Right. But the Honda Accord, I feel is a fantastic platform, and it's a great daily driver, and just to kind of be able to shift gears and stuff. Right. It's really, really fun. Having the 6-speed is really nice. My dad bought that. He grew up in Europe. They'll have the manual transmissions, and yeah, it's funny now when I take it to the Ford dealership, they'll get kind of excited or whatever, because even that version, I think it's the 10th gen. Yeah. Even that, there was only one guy told me there was only 5% of them are in manual transmission. Yeah. 95% are in. Right. Yeah. So yeah, having that is it's one of those things that as time goes on, you like it more and more for that reason. Yeah. Because it's getting rarer and rarer. And so yeah, I definitely want to keep taking care of it, because it is a cool car. Yeah.
I mean, I just love driving manual cars realistically because like you could shift gears and I personally, I just feel like you have a lot more control of how the car behaves, especially when you're, you know, wanting to drive it in like high rev range where the power bands are and stuff. And seeing an Accord, like, you know, kind of, you know, like I heard a couple years ago, like they were going to discontinue it. So the last few ones are going to be the only ones we get left. And I was like, no, you know, and then I heard that it was like only like, I have to double check, but it was like only like 1,900 being made. And I was like, dang.
Oh, wow.
That's tough.
Yeah. That new, the new generation, I think it looks all right, but that one's just fully auto and they have like a hybrid or something. I don't know if they have a fully EV.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, you're definitely right. They're heading in the wrong direction, I think. Whereas like having a manual, just being able to control the car, feel the car, once you get used to it, I just think it's nicer.
Yeah, I
overall.
I agree.
Except for traffic.
And I feel like it's like a anti-theft device.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, people see that and it's like, oh, maybe the next one.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so you got the ceramic coating and you kind of had your first experience with it. It's kind of interesting just because like the car already looks really, really good. I know your dad probably kept like really good care of it. Like you said, it was garage kept.
Yep.
And I was kind of like, hey man, just throw coating on it. I think, you know, you'll be able to maintain, you know, the look of it. Tell me a little bit more about like how easy it is for you to kind of be able to like just kind of hose it down and kind of see everything kind of pop right back.
Right. I mean, I guess like the place to start would be, because like all the cars I've owned before, you know, they get dirty or whatever, and then you go and I got to go clean it, or you'll clean it on the driveway yourself or whatever. And I didn't have any like knowledge with that. So I would just kind of, it's mostly just like hosing it down with soap or whatever.
Right.
And then you came along and said like, no, you want like the ceramic coating or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I'll give it a shot. Hadn't really heard anything about it, didn't know much about it. And like I said earlier, it's something that like sells itself once you have it, because you see how like convenient it is to keep your car clean.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where, you know, because like beforehand I would clean my car and then it would rain like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And that would really suck. You know, I'd get like a splash from the road and stuff.
Right.
It wouldn't even look like a clean car. And then you'd have to like do the whole process again.
Right.
Whereas with the ceramic coating, most of the stuff just washes off anyway.
Right.
It doesn't even really stick.
Yeah.
And if it is something that sticks, you know, it get a wet cloth or something.
Right.
Wipe it off, and it you know comes right off. Yeah, it looks as clean as it was.
Right, and I think that's what we call the self-cleaning nature of ceramic, because it's so slick, and then when you're driving it, you're actually, you know, hitting rainwater, and then it's just like grabbing dirt as it's pushing it off the car.
Right.
Especially I call it to be in white, and like you can just kind of see, you know, where everything is literally just being picked up and then pushed off, and that kind of gives it, you know, that kind of gives you that it looks like freshly washed kind of look. I will say though, like if you go too long without doing any washes, it does start to wear on the ceramic coating. You'll still probably have the beading behavior.
Okay.
But you'll still see a lot of like traffic film.
I've heard you say that before when you say beading behavior.
Yeah.
By that.
So beading behavior is how water like sits on the surface of your car. So when you look at a car that doesn't have any ceramic coatings or any protections on it, water tends to just like get on the surface of the car and then spread itself out and then falls down.
Okay.
Right? So beading behavior with ceramic coatings, the water actually likes to just ball itself up because I think there's just like less resistance on it.
Okay.
Right. And so it comes to like a nice point and then it just kind of flows down like the point of least resistance.
Okay.
And you know, that's how we get, well, you know, like gravity will do its work when like there's, there's water on like a vertical surface. It's just going to cling to it and then drop. But then it just makes it really, really tight. And I think this, what they call it, it's like the contact angle of ceramic coating.
Okay.
And that is like at what point ceramic actually does create a water bead, like with water itself.
Okay.
Right? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Like when you put rain necks on your windshield and you see it all just kind of flying off.
Right.
Okay.
It's creating that like ultra slick surface. And that is what that's what leads you to having like, you know, the water behavior. That's why I say it's water behavior, because it's how water behaves on top of the surface of the coating itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because I noticed it once I had the coating on.
Right.
You know, it makes it like I don't want to say streamlined, but that's kind of what it feels like. You know, all the water just doesn't want to stick to the vehicle.
Yeah.
And I assume, you know, it's probably taken most of the dirt that normally would like stick onto it and stuff like that.
Well, I like to see it as like dirt is like not exactly just like clinging to the surface of the car, like the paintwork itself anymore, and it's clinging to the ultra slick surface of ceramic coating.
Okay.
Because that coating structure actually chemically bonds to the surface of your paint, and then it creates like almost like that glass layer, right?
Okay.
And that's that protection that we're talking about.
Gotcha.
And then when it hits that layer, because it's so slick, that it doesn't actually like really embed itself in there. So the only time I actually really see stuff really embed into ceramic coating is like if it's a really sticky agent like tree sap, which is naturally like a really grabby substance, and then dirt that's probably been sitting on top of your car and then just baking like in the sun.
Okay.
And most of the times that needs like a little bit of help with like water and soap to kind of like start emulsifying it, which is like breaking it down, lifting it up, and pushing it away. So I'm not saying like ceramic coatings are so good that you'll never have to like wash your car. You won't. Sticks to it. I think through time, like as the ceramic coating begins to degrade and break down, like you'll have those pockets that start to build up a little bit more dirt, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And you'll need to, you know, do what we call a decontamination wash, where we try to decontaminate the surface of the ceramic coating to revive that ultra slick surface.
Okay. So like how, you know, on average, like how long is a ceramic coat? Like how long would it last on my car?
Right. So it's really hard to say. And I know like everybody,
because everyone drives like
a straight answer. Yeah. It really does depend on like where you park it, how often you drive it, and how well you're maintaining it.
Okay.
And the best I could do is like give you examples of some of the cars that I've seen come back. And most of the garage queens that I see look almost as good as day one. And that's probably because the customers have really good knowledge of like wash methods and using really good like products. And when I do the decontamination washes, there are only a few spots that need extra help with decontamination, like clay bar or something like that.
Okay.
But the guys that daily drive their car, I will see them do decontaminations maybe once every 3 months.
That's not bad.
It's not. When I say decontamination, it's like you just want enough services in the wash itself that like really takes it above a maintenance wash, right? So I probably overthink this way too much, but the way I break this down is like maintenance washes is when your car is perfect, you drive it out, you get some traffic film, you want that traffic film off, right? But as you drive it and as you're getting through the rain, water is going to pool in areas of your car that typically they will always pool at, and then they'll dry there, right? So like the cracks and crevices, right?
Thinking about the spots on my
right, exactly. So like where the body panels meet, like those are just natural channels for water to kind of get through. If you're driving through like an area that is getting repaved, you're going to get a lot of tar. Tar is a natural like sticky agent. It will literally just cling to the side of your car until you like wipe it off, right? So things like that. So with maintenance washes, I usually say that's really good for just doing like traffic film stuff, right? And if you have some dirty stuff like that, maybe is like a bug here or there, or some bird crap,
right?
You just kind of take care of those right then and there. decontamination wash is very intensive, and you want to be able to add services like clay bar, like tar removers, like tree sap removers, and water spot removers to really start pulling away the contaminants that are building up in normal places of the car, like behind the wheels, arches, in the body, like in between the body panels and stuff like that. And that's more of like an intense deep clean. And then it just helps the coating itself not continue to build up more contaminants that are just going to clog those pores.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So if like in the new year, like January 1st, I got like a ceramic coating put on my car.
Yeah.
When would you, and you knew it was like a daily driver, for me getting to work and back, forth, all that stuff. When would you want to see the car the next time?
Right.
Or what could I look for where I'm like, okay, I probably need that, to bring it in, get that maintenance done.
I gotcha. So with this being a hypothetical, I mean, ideally, if you got it like January 1, 2026, I would want to see you in 30 days.
Okay.
Within like the 30-day window, like it can be pushed to like 60 days or 40 days. But I want to see how well the coating has bonded to the car, kind of like how I did with your car. Yeah, like in the first 30 days, I was kind of like, let me see water behavior. Let me see where coating has stuck and where coating has maybe failed.
Okay.
Right? And so the first 30 days are really crucial for ceramic coatings just because there's a lot that happens in between that time where you could be driving it through rain, where you could be parking it inside, but that coating is still curing itself. And if I did like happen to miss a spot, like it's going to make itself really, really prominent, like within that 30 days, it's just coating's going to fall away. And so I just want to make sure I address that area. And then after that, like it's usually pretty good. So if you did that in January 1, I would see like January 30th or February 1. And then after February 1, I'll probably see you like in March or April for the first decontamination wash, really. And then at that point, I want to really take notice to the types of contaminations I'm seeing, whether they're consistently happening over time.
What it might be, if it's sap or tar.
Right. So that helps me understand like the types of contamination we're going to be fighting against. Like water spotting is a big for cars that are parked outside, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because like just because like the rain is gonna rain on your car overnight, and then like we're in Georgia.
Yeah.
By the time the sun comes up, like it's in the summertime or the springtime, sometimes all that stuff is dried up already.
Exactly.
So you're just gonna have all those minerals like left on top of the car. And I want to take notice of that because I want to be able to use like a mineral neutralizer to kind of help it fall away from the coating itself.
So when you have like customers or whatever, you want to kind of know what they're using their car for so you can address their like particular issues as opposed to like if someone was I don't know, driving through tar every day, you might say to them like, hey, maybe take a different route or something.
No, okay, not at all. So what I'll do is I'll say I'll recommend products, right? So that way you can help me combat the same things that you might be doing on your maintenance washes, right? So like a great example is like when I see a car back sometimes and I take notice to like the tree sap, I'll say, hey, try this tree sap remover on your next wash. Like you don't have to do it every time you wash it, but maybe once every 2 or 3 washes, like just give it a nice once over with an additional, with your additional like maintenance wash regimen,
That's kind of what you did like a year ago for a couple of us when we had the artillery fungus parking lot.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how like awful it was to try.
Yeah.
I was picking it off like one by one with my finger.
Right.
You were just like, nah, you want to use, whatever and got that stuff off real quick.
Yeah. And like the bad part is like where we have to park our cars, like they're not taking care of the fungus. So you have to park there.
Yep.
So like that's what I mean when I want to take notice of like the types of contaminations I see. That way, like, you can help combat those
same serious events.
Yeah, so, like, if you live in an area where you have really hard water, right? And then it's like, cool, let's use a water spot remover like in between your maintenance washes. And like you don't have to go as thorough as I do. You just want to make sure like you actually use it to like help reduce the water spotting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like have you like seen my car like the parking lot? Like what would you recommend based on like what you've seen at this point?
Well, I remember we did like 30-day wash, and then I remember we did like a 3-month wash.
Yeah.
And realistically, I mean, when we did the 3-month wash,
I think it's like holding up pretty well.
yeah, I mean, like it held up really, really well. And I didn't have to do anything really crazy. Like all the artillery fungus just kind of blew off. So there is no need for extra chemicals to combat that. Ceramic coating is doing its job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen, it's been doing like it's still like something that's like new to me or whatever, but I you know, for lack of a better word, seems like magic at times.
Yeah.
Especially with the bird crap. I was just like, wow, that should have taken a lot longer. But I guess you're saying the artillery fungus just kind of slides right off.
Yeah. And that's what you want like ceramic coatings for, because it makes it so much easier for you to maintain a pristine car.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So like I get that everybody probably wants this one like product and they're like, my car will always look amazing.
Right. Well, don't drive
like,
it.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the truth of the matter is like you're gonna have to use the car. You're gonna have to take it through things and places and take it through its paces. And then eventually like you'll have to wash it and maintain it, you know?
Definitely.
Like I said, for the garage queens, like maybe once a year.
Right. My Lambo.
Right. For your daily drivers, like do a good decontamination wash like once every 3 months. If you're not driving that much, like if you feel like you can skip it, I would skip it. Like I would push it to 4-5 months and then find like a happy medium of what it takes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because like obviously cars that are parked in a garage are just going to do a little bit better than cars that are parked outside, right? Because if they're parked in the garage, they're covered, they're under shelter, there's just less dirt that's going to really pile on. If they're outside, they're always like in the dusty area. You got your neighbor that's like cutting his grass and blowing like all the dirt everywhere, right? So like that attributes to everything. And it just, you know, it's just one of those things where you have to, you know, be mindful of like how much you actually need to decontaminate your car. And ceramic coating just helps you push that off so like you can do it maybe once every 4 months, every 6 months. And there are customers that I have that come in that are doing like once a year. And then there are customers I have that come once every 2 years.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. So, I mean, that's ceramic coating. And
just trying to think what like what would you think like the next step for my car would be? Weird. Like it is holding up like pretty well, but like do I need to think about getting like a new ceramic coating? How does that work essentially? Like do you put ceramic on top of ceramic, or do you have to take off the original? Like how does that process work?
Ideally, like what you really want is to push this coating as far as you absolutely can, right? And that's, you can maintain your coating and keep it good just by like doing the maintenance washes, doing the decontamination washes, and then you could push it as far as 3 years, you know? It gets really, really tricky like past 2 to 3 years. Ceramic coating companies are, you know, they're really good at what they do, but at the same time, there's only so much you can build into a product that is designed for something for so long. You know what I mean? So essentially what I'm saying is, if you feel like the coating is supposed to last all the way to 3 years, and it probably will, it depends on which degree of lasting we're talking about.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, if you're talking about consistent water behavior all the way past 3 years, you may not see that. And there are very few cars that I do see where like a 3-year coating will actually last like with perfect water behavior and perfect like results for 3 years. Like I would say it's really difficult. just because I don't think they even build the ceramic coatings like with enough quality ceramics to actually do that.
Okay.
Right. So at this point, you kind of get into like the quality of ceramic coating, and this is really hard for a lot of guys that get into the industry because it takes so much time like using products and seeing products like back to back. Like, unfortunately, like this is just one of those things, like you have to just be in the industry long enough to start seeing the pattern.
Okay, that makes sense.
What kind of coatings you see, like what you have applied, how you've applied it, how long it's actually holding up, right? So like I've been fortunate that I've been in the industry for a little over like going on 9 years now, started back in like 2016, and like day one, like quitting my job, like I was in paint correction ceramic coating.
Okay.
Right? So there was a product I got to use, and it was a consumer-based product, never got any like professional grade products until I started working with, you know, like a professional, like well-seasoned detailer that was doing ceramic coating. And back in 2016, I feel like there wasn't that many, to be honest with you. Today, I feel like they're every corner.
Right.
But
you see a lot, like
I do, all the time.
Do you see amateurs act as professionals a lot on ties, or is
it's really hard to say because like I was there, you know? So like you could bridge a lot of that stuff, but you won't see what I'm talking about until like you're actually in the industry for a little while.
Okay.
Right? So like it's hard for me to tell someone else. So it's like, say if I started tomorrow and like I was offering people like 9-year coatings, right? And it's like, I can't even say with confidence, like personally, I can't say with confidence, like, yeah, it'll last 9 years because I haven't even seen it.
You haven't seen one
I haven't seen one for 9 years, you know? So like to me, it's really difficult. And I'm fortunate now where like I've been in the industry for 9 years where it's like, have I seen a 9-year ceramic coating? No. And the reason why is because some people don't even keep their cars for 9 years.
Sure.
Right? So like it's really hard to say that.
A lot of variables.
Yeah. So there's so many different variables. And then like as I got better and as I applied more and as I continue to see performance of ceramic coatings like car after car after car, it's when I started noticing like micro like adjustments to how my applications went, how much product I'm using really affected the long-term viability of each coating itself.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And then we can go down the rabbit hole of like how good the coatings are themselves.
What's the actual product? Like
I think this is really, really difficult because I feel like back in 2016, back in 2017, there were like 4 major ceramic coating companies. Today, there are a lot more. And I feel like the big players are still here. But how do you like differentiate or discern whether one ceramic coating is better than the other, right? Like you literally just have to use both and see past the 3 years, like which one is held up.
So,
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it takes 3 years.
Yeah,
it takes 3 years. And you have to put in the time and you have to like wash the cars. You have to see the performance and they're all like anecdotal because not every person drives the same way. Not every person takes care of the car the same way. Right. So like the only thing I've done is accumulate enough knowledge across a lot of cars across like 9 years to be able to confidently say like there are some coatings that I see that will last a comfortable 3 to 4 years. And then there are some coatings I see that die in like a year or less. And I don't want to attribute that to maybe the coating themselves because it could be something that I'm doing wrong. I'd like to think that most of the time it's like user application that's wrong. And I get it, dude. Everybody says like applying a coating. If you've ever done it, like, it's, like it's super easy, right? The things that really make coatings change is like what temperatures you're consistently applying ceramic coatings in. Is it really hot? Is it really cold? Is it really humid? And all those things like really affect coatings in a micro level, right?
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like anyone can do the physical action of applying the coating, but without having all the knowledge that you're talking about,
right,
they're not going to be as prepared for maybe, you know, future, I don't want to say like complications, but just like, you know, if they don't know how they drive, what type of weather they're driving through, they're not keeping in mind if they like keep their car inside or outside, then, you know, it's going to affect the coating throughout its life.
Yeah. I mean, like, you want to do your part to make sure like what you do is consistent. So like there's always a system that you're going to build or at least try to tweak to make work in your benefit. Right. A good friend of mine, like Brian down the street, has a great detail shop and sells detail products too. Right. He gave it to me in a really, really interesting way. And he said, if you're building a brick wall and you're using like 1/8 of an inch of mortar every like brick that you stack on top of it,
right?
Like, is that wall going to be strong? And it's like, yeah, it's going to be decently strong, right? But he's like, okay, but if we change the 1/8 into like 1/4, right? It's like, which one's going to be stronger?
Okay.
It's like, obviously the one that's 1/4, right? But then like, it's that train of thought and into each panel of the car. So like, how can you like do 1/4 of an inch, you know, 1/4 of an inch of mortar, like on each brick, like you're doing that with panels on a car. Like, are you applying enough ceramic coating to make sure it actually goes all the way?
Okay.
Right. And then like, it gets even like more in depth after that, which is like, if we're applying in temperatures that are 90 degrees and above, where like some coatings have a high flash point or like a fast flash point, could you still do that, you know? And so you're building like a system and a method with multiple different coatings in a controlled environment that are applied the same way and trying to get the same results out of each one.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what makes it really difficult.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you have to do a lot of these. Like, you just have to test each one, you know? For me, I had to test each one because like,
well, how else?
I don't want to
figure it
Well,
out.
I don't want to throw like coating companies under the bus or anything, but I feel like each coating class that I got to go to, they were like, we're the best.
Okay.
It's like,
everybody's the best.
yeah. It's like when more people say it, but then like you have to see it through time, you know? And like, I would say I've done a decent job with maintaining like customer relationships and some of the coatings themselves, and like seeing them come back and then seeing water behavior and then asking the customer like, hey, how'd you take care of the car? You know, some of the guys I used to literally just like see once a year and like half of the car would be good, you know, like, so like the top half would be fantastic. The lower half would be like dead, you know, and I have to figure out whether it's clogged, if the contaminants are just way too much like on the surface of that area, or the coating itself has just died, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah,
100 miles a day or whatever.
Or it could just be like lack of maintenance, you know? It'll just be lack of maintenance. Yeah. So like trying to do that as a new detailer, really, really tough, especially in the ceramic coating and detailing industry. So like you have to kind of tell people the information you get from other detailers based on the information you get from other detailers, right?
Okay.
I know that was like pretty much the same thing, but
like a community
exactly
way.
But what I have found is that like not every detailer like applies coatings the same way, and then they're biased based on like
their method.
Well, they're biased based on which company they really, really like and they've had good experience with.
Okay.
So that was one of those things that was like really hard to kind of navigate through. Yeah. But then like kind of get to year 6, year 7, you're kind of like, all right, I'm starting to see a lot more patterns and I'm seeing a lot more coatings that will consistently perform over time. And then those become like your go-to coatings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So like anytime I get a new coating, I test it, and then I have like a 1-year rigorous test program where like I just will tell someone like, hey, this is a coating we're testing. If you're okay with that, like just let me know. If you want something that's
tried and true,
then let me know. And usually like they're with like one of my siblings or one of my friends or something like that, or it's my car, you know. So like my car has a plethora of coatings that are like just in one corner of the car, and it's just like,
that's funny.
always like
You're
always examining that one spot. It's like, oh, it didn't last as long as it said it would.
Right.
Right. But then like I said, I don't want to blame the coating itself. I just want to make sure like I applied it properly. And with some coatings, like those things matter, and some coatings, if they don't matter. And it's hard when you're new and you're trying to figure out like all of that stuff.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
As time goes on, you like pick up the knowledge. That's interesting though, because I would have thought it's just like all the same, but yeah, you're telling me that it's actually like an endless amount of variables, both on like your part, but also the customer's part, how they drive and where they keep their car and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's what makes like when someone says like, I want a coating that's gonna last like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. When you say like the 5 years, are you talking about like top performance for that next 5 year and like you're never gonna have to maintain it? Like that doesn't even exist.
I feel like what they're saying is I want a very clean car for 5 years.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that's what they're saying. Instead they're saying, oh, I want a coating that is gonna keep it clean for that long. And yeah, well, you're gonna keep it clean.
Right.
Coating is gonna help do that, and it's gonna help make that easier. And it's gonna get you the results you want.
And that's what I've been trying to like push people to see more. And it's like, hey, this is a tool to use that we both like. I can help you maintain a really clean car with, you know.
I think that's kind of how I saw it at first.
Yeah.
Like, talking with you more and stuff about it, it's kind of like, okay, I just need to figure out, you know, my car, how it's gonna date the like coating and stuff, and then how to maintain that. And like how, you know, you see my car almost every day. Like at this point, I still think the coating's hanging up. But should I like be doing something at this point? Because I think it's like, I think I'm at 7 months now, and yeah. I mean, stuff still just slides right on.
Right, and that's really good for 7 months.
Yeah.
And basically, I would say like if you haven't seen any crazy variances of like water behavior, then I would say just continue doing the same method that you've been doing. And then I think we did one decontamination.
Yeah.
There was. And I was like, just run that, you know,
okay,
and run that one decon wash and just let it ride for as long as you can. Yeah. Because I mean, the whole idea of this is that like you can have a really clean looking car with simple wash like and maintenance techniques, and then just like keep it that way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I ever, you know, which I plan on doing, buying like new cars and stuff. I mean, you've sold me on getting that done.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like right off the bat, might as well.
Yeah.
You know, because it definitely, like, are there things that a ceramic coating like can't help with? Like if someone were to egg my car, would it be fine the next morning? Because egg is like some stuff, isn't it?
It's pretty harsh stuff. And I would say like probably not. And it's really tough to kind of determine this, mainly because like I haven't really seen like how eggs will respond to a car that's been ceramic coated.
Okay, yeah.
Just because like it's just one of those things I have not encountered, which is really strange because I feel like after the 9 years, like you would have at least encountered one. I will say this. Most people come in after they've been egged and then expect me to like kind of like, they're like, fix it. And I'm like, there's nothing here to fix.
I can't
you know
what chemical it is that's in eggs. It's like really destructive to car paint or something like that. But I had I had a really nice 2001 Audi TT.
Yeah.
When I was in college. A very cool car to have. Not when it broke down though, which it did often. But it got egged at night.
Yeah.
And I woke up next day, went out. It was like right on the roof. And, you know, I tried cleaning it, but I could already see like little swirls and stuff that were different.
Yeah.
Like the black paint. And I did that same exact thing. I went to a detailer. I was like, oh, can you please fix it? And the guy was just like, look, man, eggs in cars don't go well. But I would have, like, I feel that if I had the coating that I have now on it, because it was only like a few hours. I mean, some drunk kids in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know, like I would have felt a lot better And I'm willing to bet, especially based on what I saw of like the bird crap and stuff, that it probably would have protected it.
Yeah, I mean,
that amount of time.
The sooner you get to it, the better, right? And I can't say just because I haven't really tested that or experienced it.
Yeah,
right. So
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
the more people or the less people that are egging cars.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, like, it's just one of those things where like, you get certain situations that are pretty similar across the span of, you know, your career. And then every now and then, like, someone brings you something and you're just like, what in the world, like, happened here, you know? And, like, for the most part, like, being in it 9 years, like, the most things you're really going to see is, like, I drove through an area where they're painting the ground or they're painting the house. I was like, splatter everywhere, right? And just like, oh, okay. Half of my car has tar on it, you know? And it's like, okay, yeah, tree sap. And then there's the overspray one where somebody was painting something outside and there's all these little dots, you know, which was funny because like one of my customers actually brought in his BMW. He got the coating done, drove off like 3 months later. He was like, dude, I went through this area and like the whole car has stuff over it. And I was like, well, let's just try to wash it and, you know, maybe do a decon wash, but let's wash it first to see what happens. We just washed it and it just popped right back.
Okay.
So simply.
Nice.
It was super cool, you know? And I was like testing one of the lower grade ceramic coatings just to see like how well it performed. As far as like water behavior goes and how much repellency it has, that one was pretty good. The problem with it and what I like with all the coatings is like, if you're going to offer somebody a coating, I feel like you might as well just offer them like everything. So if it has the looks that you like, if it has the water behavior that you like, and it has the protection that you somewhat like, then go with that. But if it just has the water behavior, then I'll just say throw wax on it, you know?
Right.
But, you know, go for the one that has like everything that you kind of want. Just because, you know, you're already doing it. You might as well do it all the way.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, at least get like a mid-tier, you know, the one that like changes the aesthetic look of the car, adds more gloss and depth. But yeah.
Okay.
Dude, thanks so much for having this chat with me, and it was great to actually talk to someone about the things that I've been thinking about and being able to just kind of help explain it in a way that we both could kind of
definitely. And you were right, like what you're saying at the beginning, where like you know so much, so that there are like some things that you kind of just gloss over, which is like real new to like me or whatever as like your customer and stuff. But yeah, I'd say you're pretty good at explaining the stuff. I definitely learned a lot having the ceramic coating.
Yeah,
you know, it's I mean, like I'm not just saying it just to say it. Like when I buy like cars, you know, throughout my life, I'm always going to get that coating.
Yeah.
Just because, like, why not? You know, it's you see how much cars cost nowadays. Like, you got to take care of them. So, yeah.
You know what's so funny is, like, I remember, like, I think 2 or 3 months in, I'm, like, outside in the rain, just, like, looking at your cars, like, oh, water behavior's still good.
Yeah. No, I would definitely catch myself doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, different times, just like, oh, it's all going off. Like, it's going to be clean forever. And now I know, you know, that there is things that I'll like have to maintain, but I was doing that anyway.
Right.
You know, taking the car out, cleaning it in the driveway and stuff like that. And now with the coating, it's so much easier. It goes quicker. You know, it's kind of like you're buying the coating so that you can assist yourself later on with what you're going to do anyway. So like it's, you know, overall it's been a great help as far as like keeping the car, you know, the way I want it.
Dude, super cool, man. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I don't want this video to drag on for, like, ever.
I got you. Yeah.
Thanks for being on the pod with me.
Yeah, dude.
And thanks for the questions that you've
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so if you guys like the stuff you guys heard, hopefully I'll have more episodes, and
you will
see you on the next one.